Hello, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tech Exec podcast. As always, I'm your host, Aviv Ben-Yosef, advisor and consultant to the best execs in the world. And today, what we're going to be talking about is your articulation superpower. Now, articulation has a bunch of different meanings, but let's take one from the dictionary here on my Mac. Articulation is the action of putting into words an idea or feeling of a specified type. And I want to talk about how considering and focusing on how you articulate your ideas in your work can essentially be a superpower, and how it is something that I've seen many executives actually wield in a way that has made their teams a lot faster, has made decisions a lot easier, and has made everyone feel better. Now, I'm going to try and articulate this as best as I can in like 5 minutes. There's a clear gap between those leaders who prefer to just make a decision and basically communicate the bare minimum necessary in order to have people know about this decision, and those leaders who take the important decisions with the importance that they deserve. So, for example, how many of you have decided to promote someone, to change how your organization looks, mess a bit with the process, try something new, and what you basically did was let people know, send a Slack message, and let the message somehow bubble up in the organization without having clearly communicated it and why? As opposed to, those people who seem to have a clear Google Doc that explains every single thing when they decide to do something. Here's why, here are the FAQs, etc., etc. And I don't mean that you have to be on this end where everything has to look as if it's something that was a result of years of thinking, right? It is not the case, and sometimes you don't have the time to articulate everything so clearly. However, if you want to control the narrative, if you want to help your team feel secure because you're allowing less space here for rumors, for misunderstandings, you have to consider how you can most effectively and eloquently structure your message in a way that people understand it and in a way that helps you move forward faster. So, for example, when I was working with this unicorn about a big reorg, we knew that there were going to be a bunch of big questions, and we also knew that when you announce a reorg and you start explaining things, some people are going to listen, but a good chunk of the people, once they realize that you're going to be probably moving teams or changing managers or something, they are no longer really listening. Instead, they are now in an internal dialogue thinking about what this means, what's going to happen, or all of their fears, etc. And therefore, we knew that it was not just about how we're going to communicate it verbally once we started. We knew that we had to create a very good accompanying document. And I'm not saying that this wasn't like 10 pages. This was like maybe a page and a half with a bunch of FAQs about when are we going to communicate it? What if I have a problem? Why are we doing this? What do we hope to achieve? Etc., etc. And just writing those down, first of all, it really helped when we delivered it to ensure that we have less disruption. The team wasn't as unproductive as usually things are when you announce something, but also merely the act of trying to articulate your thoughts, trying to explain why you're doing things, and assuming the role of a teacher of explaining something to someone that doesn't have all of your context, that doesn't understand all of your thinking, that really helped my client crystallize why certain decisions were made, why other things were important, and just this process has helped us actually create a better reorg, because some questions, when we didn't have the good answers for them, we realized, oh, maybe we don't have to do it. Maybe there is another way. So you have to consider when just investing those 10 minutes writing down your ideas is gonna be providing you with a tremendous return on investment that will help your people, help your team, and just this simple articulation, this ability to write something down succinctly and clearly can help push things faster forward, especially if you have a hybrid team, especially if not everyone is always in the office and you can't just rely on having the ability to communicate face-to-face with everyone. Think about this. And if you have, by the way, any good examples of articulation, I would love to get them. You can email them to me. My email's in the show notes, and I would love to see it. This is like sort of my hobby, right? I really love seeing how teams progress. And if you have anything to share, please let me know. And start thinking about how you're going to be developing this personal small superpower that's going to help propel you forward. That's it for this week. Thank you for joining me again. Do check out my newsletter, my books, my community. Everything is down in the show notes. Thank you. See you here next week.